Lock the doors, dim the lights, and step into the archive. I am the curator, and these are tonight's selections. I moved in because it was quiet. That's what the listing said. Top floor, no neighbors above. Peaceful. After everything that happened last year, quiet sounded perfect. The building itself wasn't new, but it wasn't old enough to feel historic either. Just forgotten, like it had been built and then slowly left behind by time. There were only 3 floors. I was on the 3rd. Top floor, no one above me. That's important. The first night was normal. Unpacking. Silence. Occasional car passing outside. The second night is when I heard it. At 2:17 a.m., a sound from above my ceiling. Not loud, not crashing, just a slow shift, like weight adjusting, with settling. I sat up in bed and stared at the ceiling. 3 floors. Top floor, no one above me. I told myself it was pipes. Buildings make sounds. That's normal. Then it happened again. A slow drag, like someone moving a chair, directly over my bedroom. I didn't sleep much after that. The next morning, I asked the landlord casually, "Hey, is there maintenance access above the 3rd floor?" He frowned slightly. "There's nothing above the 3rd floor. Attic? No. Storage? No. Just roof. Flat concrete roof." I laughed it off. Probably thermal expansion, I told myself. That night at 2:17 a.m., it happened again. This time it wasn't dragging. It was footsteps. Slow. Measured. Walking from one end of my ceiling to the other. I grabbed my phone and turned on the voice recorder, just to prove to myself I wasn't imagining it. The footsteps stopped immediately. Silence. I lay there for 10 minutes. Nothing. Finally, I lowered my phone. And that's when I heard it. A soft exhale. Directly above my face. Not footsteps. Not movement. Breathing. Slow. Heavy. Matching my rhythm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I held my breath. The breathing above me didn't. I didn't sleep after that. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the breathing to stop. Didn't. Not for a long time. Eventually, exhaustion pulled me under. When I woke up, sunlight filled the room. Everything looked normal, quiet, still. I almost convinced myself it was a dream, until I checked my phone. The voice recording was 6 minutes long. I sat up slowly and pressed play. First, nothing. Just faint room noise. Then, at exactly 2:17 a.m., there it was. A shift, clearer than I remembered. With straining, then footsteps. Slow, measured, back and forth, back and forth. I heard myself whisper on the recording, barely audible. "There's no one up there." The footsteps stopped. And then, breathing. Not imagination. Not distortion. Clear. Heavy. Directly above the microphone. I stopped the recording. My hands were shaking. That afternoon, I borrowed a ladder from the maintenance closet in the hallway. There had to be something above the ceiling. An access hatch. Loose paneling. Anything. In the hallway outside my apartment, there was a small square panel in the ceiling labeled Utilities. I dragged the ladder beneath it and climbed up. The panel wasn't locked. I pushed it open slowly. Dust fell into my eyes. It was dark inside. Too dark. I lifted my phone and turned on the flashlight. There was space up there. Not just wiring. Not just pipes. A crawl space, wide enough for someone to move through. My stomach tightened. There were marks in the dust. Not old ones, fresh ones. lines where something had been dragged, parallel streaks, like someone pulling themselves forward. Slowly, methodically, I leaned up a little higher. The beam of my flashlight stretched deeper into the crawl space. Insulation, beams, narrow passageways, and then something at the far end. A shape too symmetrical to be debris, too still to be an animal. It looked like a mattress, thin, dirty, lying between the beams. My throat went dry. Someone had been up there, living, directly above my ceiling, watching, listening, breathing. I was about to lower myself back down when I noticed something else. Right near the edge of the crawlspace opening. Close, too close, handprints, pressed into the dust, facing downward, as if someone had been lying flat, right above where my bed would be. I froze, because the dust around the handprints was disturbed, freshly disturbed, and then, from deeper inside the crawl space, I heard it, a slow shift, weight adjusting, and something dragging itself closer, toward the light, toward me. I didn't move, not at first. The sound inside the crawl space wasn't loud, just a slow pull, fabric against wood, a knee dragging across beams, coming closer. My flashlight trembled in my hand. The beam shook across insulation and shadow. "Hello," I whispered. I don't know why. Maybe I hoped it was just a person. Maybe that would have been easier. The dragging stopped. Silence. Complete. I strained to hear breathing. Nothing. Just the faint hum of the building. I leaned back slightly, ready to climb down. That's when I saw it. 2 fingers, curling slowly over the wooden beam inside the crawl space. Not reaching toward me, just resting there, as if whoever was up there didn't want to hide anymore. The skin looked pale, too pale, almost gray in the flashlight. The fingers tightened, then loosened, then tightened again, like testing strength. My body finally reacted. I dropped the panel and nearly fell off the ladder climbing down. The hallway was empty, silent, normal. I dragged the ladder back to the maintenance closet without looking up again. That night, I didn't sleep in my bedroom. I moved to the living room couch. Lights on, TV running for noise. At 2:17 a.m., the sound came again, but not above the bedroom. Above me, above the couch, slow shifting, as if it had followed. My chest tightened. It knows where I am. The footsteps began again, slow, measured, tracking the exact path of my living room below. I stood up slowly. The footsteps above me stopped. I stepped left. A second later, a single step above me, mirroring mine. 1 second delayed. My heart started pounding. I stepped right. 1 second later, step right above. It was copying me, learning my movement, matching my rhythm. Then I did something impulsive. I stopped moving entirely, held my breath, waited. The ceiling stayed quiet for 3 seconds, 4, 5, and then 1 single step, directly above where I stood. It wasn't mirroring anymore. It was predicting. A soft sound followed. Not footsteps, not dragging, a whisper, muffled through insulation and wood, but clear enough. My turn. The lights flickered, just once, and from the bedroom, my mattress creaked, slowly, like someone sitting down. I didn't go to the bedroom, couldn't. The mattress creaked again, a slow shift of weight, like someone adjusting how they were sitting, waiting. The ceiling above the living room was silent now. Too silent. It wasn't above me anymore. It wasn't in the crawl space. It was below the ceiling. Inside my apartment. My phone buzzed in my hand. I flinched so hard I almost dropped it. Unknown number. A text message. There was no message, just a photo. I opened it. My bedroom, taken from the corner near the ceiling. Looking down at my bed. The blanket slightly folded. A dent in the mattress. As if someone had just stood up. The timestamp read 2:18 a.m. 1 minute ago. Couldn't breathe. Another buzz. Another photo. This time, the living room. Me, standing frozen in the middle of it. Taken from above. From the ceiling. My hands started shaking. There was only one place that photo could have been taken from. The crawl space. But the crawl space was supposed to be above the ceiling. Not inside it. The whisper came again. Not muffled this time. Clear. Behind me. You're loud when you're scared. I turned slowly. The hallway to my bedroom was darker than the rest of the apartment. And in that darkness, something moved. Not stepping. Not walking. Lower. Like it wasn't used to standing upright. It shifted forward into the light, and I felt my stomach drop. It looked like me. Not perfectly. Not cleanly. Its posture was wrong. Its movements slightly delayed, like it had learned by watching. Its skin had the same pale gray tone I'd seen on those fingers. Its head tilted the way mine does when I'm confused. It smiled. But too wide. You live loud, it said softly. I live above. Took a step forward. Its joints made a subtle cracking sound. Unnatural. 3 floors, it continued. But there's always space between them. It raised one hand slowly. Dust fell from its hair. Insulation fibers clung to its shoulders. I stay in the space people don't check. Another step closer. I learn schedules. I learn voices. I learn how you breathe. My phone buzzed again. One last message. Just text this time. 2:17 a.m. tomorrow. Your ceiling. The lights went out. Total darkness. I felt something rush past me. Cold air. Movement. Then silence. When the lights flickered back on. The apartment was empty, bedroom untouched, living room normal, no dents, no footsteps, no dust, just quiet. I stood there shaking, until I noticed something wrong. The ceiling looked lower, just slightly, and when I inhaled, the air felt tighter, compressed, like the space above me wasn't empty anymore, like it was full, waiting. It's 2:14 a.m. now. I'm writing this from the couch, listening, counting seconds, because at 2:17, I think it comes down, and I go up.